The Wisp, Chapter 11, A Dream. They came out of the darkness and onto the shore of a small lake. How strange. Bara knew of no lake nearby. They could no longer be in the forest surrounding Windfall. She looked up at a foreign starscape of constellations and planets, unnaturally bright. They moved into another world. It was the only answer. And then the stars began to fall. Light blazed down from the sky and hovered before piercing through the lake's surface. Radiant rapiers cut down through watery volumes, trailing down into the depths. The last shimmering trail disappeared, and Bara was standing alone. Her eyes searched the beach and the little she could see into the forest. She saw nothing. A large wave hit and shattered the silence. Bara gave up looking for the dark-haired boy and turned back to the water. A rush invaded the shore, quickly followed by another. She stepped back. The lake bubbled and surged. Moonlight reflected off the splash, seemingly as steam. A glow appeared beneath the waves and lifted from the water. The glow was a woman. Her arms and legs unfolded. Her hair was full and thick and rode upon a wind of its own. Her long robes, her eyes, and even her skin were gold. It was as though she'd been dipped in melted ore. As she glided across the lake, her feet just grazed the water below, creating trails of spray. She stopped and hovered a few meters from shore. "All beauty is not beauty," she sang. "Who are you?" Bara asked. "I am the messenger. All beauty is not beauty." The messenger opened her mouth to sing again, but stopped. There was a snarl. A wolf, larger than any wolf Bara had ever seen, came out from the woods, belly low to the ground. Its fur was silver, not gray, but silver. Another snarl revealed sharp and long canines. Metallic foam flowed from a jagged mouth. As it neared, it grew in size. Its teeth lengthened and sharpened. Its intent was clear. Attack. The wolf sprang. The distance was great, too great for any wolf to cover with one leap, but this one flew through the air with ease. Bara ducked and her hands flew to cover her head. She waited to feel sharp jaws and heavy claws pierce her tender skin. She felt only the weight of a shadow as it soared above and over her head. There was the splash of water. The wolf jumped with such power it positively flew. It sprang once more and covered the remaining distance, barreling into the messenger. Gold and silver entwined a foot or two above the water and did battle. The wolf pulled the messenger down to the surface. They splashed ferociously in the shallows. The messenger fought back, but the wolf was too strong, too quick. Its teeth took hold of her throat and bit. Thick trails of red ran down her golden skin. The wolf didn't give up its bite, and eventually the messenger stopped struggling. Still in the creature's jaws, she turned her head to look at Bara. Her mouth opened and closed. No sound. Vocal cords were cut. Satisfied, the wolf released its jaws from her bloody neck and backed off just an inch. It watched and waited. The messenger touched her throat. Her skin glowed beneath her hand. When she removed her fingers, the glow had died. Miraculously, she was healed, and so once again she opened her mouth to speak. She tried again and again. Her eyes brimmed with tears of frustration, but only silent air passed between her lips. Finally, she gave up and hung her head. The depth of the water grew then, and she sank beneath the waves. An instant later, a large globe of light rose from the lake. Like a reverse comet, it soared into the dark sky, and the messenger was gone. Bara looked at the wolf now, approaching menacingly slow through the water. She backed away, but her foot caught on a rock, and land gave way. She fell. With a single bound, the wolf cleared the space between them. Bara found herself eye to eye with the feral creature. Her tranquil green battled its stormy silver. She smelled its breath. It was warm and metallic. It smelled of blood. Not wanting to witness her own end, Bara went to close her eyes, but stopped and opened them wide again. Flickering like the glow of the predator's eyes, a locket hung from his thickly furred neck. An odd collar for such a ferocious beast. The wolf gnashed its teeth and lifted a heavy and sharp paw. A blur of warm light prevented sharp nails from slicing soft skin. Appearing from the mist, the dark-haired boy threw himself into the wolf. It sounded as though a boulder had collided with a granite cliff. The wolf should have flown through the air, but its silver fur merely shook. Then, like an icicle falling up, the locket rose above and over its head and into the dark-haired boy's grip. The dark-haired boy didn't hang around. On the fleetest of feet he stole into the trees. His glowing light dimmed, from a blaze to a spark to a pinpoint to nothing. The wolf growled and shot Bara a glare, and then tore off after the dark-haired boy in the locket. Her shock faded, and Bara came to sitting. "Follow," she told her weary body. She brought herself to wobbly legs and began to run clumsily through the woods. Pain quickly reminded her she wore no shoes. The moss had disappeared. The ground was now rough and sharp. Wounds tore open, but the way was clear. A path of broken branches and trampled earth she need only follow. The Wisp is published on Amazon.com. Also available on Amazon is Monsters, Real and Imagined, Tragic, Frightening, and Funny, All Too Brief, a collection of short stories and poetry. Strays, a collection of short stories and philosophical love poems, and Tattoo, Calling All Soldiers Home, a collection of poems in brevity.